How we doing tonight? I think we're on day 18 of being uncomfortable, taking this challenge. I'm starting to pay attention more to sort of the things that I like to consume on the topics that I like to talk about. And I guess I'm not too far off from some of the things that they're doing. They've got just quite a bit more time. And also, if you see somebody that's got like 1 million views on a video or things like that, they've probably got like 100 other videos that have just several hundred or a few thousand. So what is it that makes something really run or really go viral? Who knows? My goal is not to do that. I mean, of course, if it happens, that'd be great. Especially if you think that they are creating a message or talking about something that can benefit other people, then it's great in thinking that it would do so. I'd probably wind up getting into arguments with people in the comments, and you start hearing about all like the treacherous again with the yawns. I don't know. Anyway, the treacherous trolls on the internet of people that just feel so inclined to tell you why they hate you so much or things like that. And you really wonder, like, is this all just like a social experiment on what it's like when people have no repercussions or believe that they don't have any repercussion to what they say, and then also that they get to have some level of anonymity to it, and they're not judged by the people that they know, right? Because if you're out with your buddies or you're there with your family and you say something absurd and ridiculous, you start to see the looks in people's eyes of like, okay, maybe that was a little too far. Maybe that has nothing to do with it. Maybe you're insane. And that helps bring you back to maybe changing your opinion a little bit. But that's not what the internet is. That's not how it goes. Then you start coming back to there's no such thing as bad news, or any story is good news, because it keeps spreading your message. It gets your name out there more, and then the more controversy that's around it means the more people that are engaged, and the more that people are even willing to fight over something, then it gets noticed by more, and then you're into the rubbernecking on some sort of situation. So anyway, had Dad's training group this morning. That went pretty well. Then had CrossFit. That went pretty well. I wasn't dying in the cardio class like I have at other times. The topic of TRT has been weighing on me a bit more these days. Just being 46 and training and, seeing younger people just be able to do more things or things that I currently can't do. And, you start convincing yourself of the inevitable, like, well, my testosterone is going to drop anyway, little bit of help, not take too much, it's just going to restore me to my natural levels. Well, there's a lot of guys out there that are on TRT that don't look like they're operating at what their natural levels are, right? If we're being honest. And I'm not saying that they're taking too much. I just think a little goes a really long way. And, there is something to the shutting down your natural production, or that you would need it for the rest of your life. And I'm kind of on this journey to not need medications. But does it actually mean that I'm happy with a journey of just the medications that I choose? And that's where I don't really know where supplements fall in that, right? Like, I'm all bent out of shape at the idea that I'd have to take some pill for cholesterol, but I don't have a problem taking creatine or doing shots of cod liver oil or taking vitamin D and then magnesium and ashwagandha and all these other things that are supposed to help improve sleep and mood and everything else like that. Am I not in a situation where I can eat all my nutrients because of the soil, even in the organic stuff? Like, it may not be as pesticide ridden, but that doesn't mean that it's as nutrient dense as it needs to be. So, I don't know. I know when I'm in a CrossFit class and I see people doing some of the muscle ups and some of these other movements, I think I'm really far away from that. And maybe that's my problem, is that my mindset is like, oh, I can't do that. I'll never be able to do something like that. And that's really all the difference, right? Because testosterone is really like the feeling of success, of enjoying the workout process, so you keep coming back and hitting it every day or on a regular basis, and then over time you see the cumulative result. So when you're younger, you have that, or even when you're untrained, that's like the best time when you're working out. It's great taking on a new training client that hasn't worked out before, because even if they're doing a half-ass program, they're going to get great results because it's all new stimulus. And every time that they come in, they're going to get a little bit stronger, and they're going to have a greater feedback loop. And then they're going to be more interested in coming in and things like that. It's really only after that, like year 3, year 4, that there's diminishing returns on seeing all this like growth or changes, not without having major changes to the training that you're doing. So, I guess it's not fair to put it into those categories, or I might be shortchanging myself by feeling like my workouts aren't that dynamic and shifting and creating all that stimulus. But, I mean, the truth is that an untrained person is going to get greater results in a shorter period of time, no matter how. Compared to somebody else that's been training all along. If you disagree, feel free to challenge me on that and prove that, and give me your opinion on that. But, so I guess the thought of taking like a TRT would put me back in that position of, by getting small but visible gains each time, I'm going to stick with it to do what it takes to get that muscle up. Or I'm not on the right program. Maybe like part of the solution is actually just put everything into the muscle up, right? Like when I only gave a shit about, or when I measured the success of my workout by how well my bench went, Bench went first after a little warm up, had all the juice, no pun intended, had all my strength, all my vigor, poured it all into those few opening sets, and didn't give a shit about flies or some tricep pushdowns. I mean, I did, but not in the way that the bench was set. Same with squats or deadlifts or anything else. So maybe I just need to be more selective and say, okay, everything about my training is going to be towards a muscle up. So, because those look like, when somebody's doing a muscle up, you can't make any excuses about what that person has. They've got hard work, they've got skill, they've got strength. It's tough to take away. The guys and some other guys that I listen to use something like handstand push-ups. Another thing you can't take away from people. Also juggling. If you have somebody juggling 4 or 5 balls, can't take away that is a clear talent that took work and they deserve credit. Multiple languages. Okay? All these things. So, I guess I have to exhaust all my other measures. I have to reach my peak potential without the drugs before I really entertain taking the drugs. And, I joined CrossFit 5 months ago, and here I am saying I had a good CrossFit workout, which wasn't happening in the beginning. So I am adapting, and it's getting better. So why would I take something when I'm already getting results on my own? I mean, this is really a lifelong process. So what's the difference if I wait until I'm 50 or 55? Things like that. Maybe I won't need to. Maybe I'll be able to solve the problem or fix something that gives me all the satisfaction in what I can do. So don't shortchange yourself like I am, but I guess this is why I think about it. I say it out loud. I give a chance to overwrite the bad thoughts that are coming into my head and choosing something different. So, all right. Have a good night. Be well.